millennials are the single largest group in the workforce. Research consultants Gallup found that about 60% of them are open to different job opportunities, the highest of any generation.
That's right. So what keeps this generation of 18 to 31-year-olds engaged, motivated, and driven? Well, to help us understand what makes millennials tick, we have Vivek Iyyani, professional leadership trainer and author of Empowering Millennials.
We also have two millennials with us, Haja Roslan, volunteer academic and curriculum planner at Learn, Love and Live, and Lyndon Leong, who works in the funeral industry. Welcome to the show. Let's start with you, Vivek. Yeah, what makes millennials different? We know they're different, but what makes them even more different from other generations?
Well, I think millennials are not afraid to job hop. In the past, the earlier generations, such as the baby boomers and the Gen X, they will stay in a company for about 20 to 40 years. They're very loyal.
Yes.
But millennials, they are not afraid to job hop. And secondly, millennials are very tech savvy. They are very comfortable around technology, and we realize that the previous generations are not as open to technology as the millennials are. And thirdly, I think millennials are also very focused on socially driven causes. So we see them gravitating towards social enterprises where you can benefit the community and do good for the community.
All right, so there's this recent survey that says millennials don't think they've grown up till at least they're 27, and they use milestones like, oh, I'm going to move out my parents' home, I'm going to start a family. So as criteria, how do you think this has impacted their psyche in life?
Well, I think millennials want to YOLO. They want
YOLO.
to only, you only live once.
You know what that is, Lance?
You only live once. I got that. I got that.
So they believe in having experiences, and you see Snapchat, you see Instagram, you see Facebook, all capturing their experiences, how they're able to show their friends, their colleagues, what kind of life they live, and they want to travel, they want to do different things. So this is something that has made millennials want to put their own comforts, their own goals and milestones first, and then think about settling down and all that later.
Okay, you've heard Vivek speak. Now, you know, he's speaking on your behalf. The two of you are
He's a millennial too.
He's
Okay, so three millennials, fantastic. Okay, so, well, you're close enough. No, but what Vivek is saying in his book, do you think that sort of represents how all millennials are?
Yeah.
I feel that it represents the majority of millennials. What he said, tech-driven, and that they want to be able to look where they are going and all that. That is really what millennials think.
Definitely what is mentioned in his book resonates in all of us, especially when he talks about social causes, about millennials being very into social causes. That's very true as well for me.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about what you do.
Yes, I am the academics and curriculum planner for Learn, Love and Live, which is a program that offers free tuition to children from low-income families. Yeah, so it's a program full of millennials as well, all university students ready to give back to the community.
Very nice. So, well, Lyndon, you're also in a very unusual industry for someone your age. Tell us a little bit more on how you got into that.
So, I believe I got into being in the funeral industry is because of what I wanted to find out in the job. So, while I was on a job searching period, I attended a friend's grandma's funeral. And I thought, who would be crazy enough to join the funeral industry, right? So, I went to do a lot of research about it, and I became like the ambassador for funeral in my school and in army. Everyone knew me as the funeral guy.
The funeral guy.
Yeah, the funeral guy.
Okay.
So one day, my commanding officer called me and he said, Lyndon, I might need your help. My newborn might pass away. Do you have anyone that you can contact? So I recommended the life celebrant to him. And 2 weeks after that, due to social media, I found out that his newborn did pass away.
Oh, dear.
And 2 weeks, he called me into his office and he said, Linda, I just want to thank you. And I said, but sir, all I did was just Google online a contact and give it to you. He said, but you gave me a reliable contact, and then I can focus on my family. And that's it. I knew that is what I want to find in a job. No matter how rich or poor you are, what your status is, I want to be able to serve you. That there's no barriers to where we and who we can serve.
Do you reckon you will stay in this job for long? Are you going to buck the trend? Like what Vivek was saying, will you stay in this industry? Because it involves, we were talking about this earlier on, involves a lot of compassion. And like what Vivek also said, you know, it also talks about giving back to the society. You want to be part of social causes too. Yeah, something greater. So what the two of you are actually doing, I would say, is bucking the trend.
I would say that I've really found a passion in the job, especially when I'm able to serve a family, and that I can bring out the life story of their loved one. Because we always say that, or everyone thinks that a funeral is just an event in a life.
Yeah.
But we always say that a funeral is not a day in a lifetime, but a lifetime in a day.
What about you, Haja?
Well, for myself, I believe that, same as Lyndon, it's all about the passion behind what I do. When you think about all these children and the families that they come from are living off food rations. So over 200 families we have reached out to with this program. And, you know, when you hear their stories and when the children actually come to you every week for moral support on top of being tutoring them academically, you get this kind of, you want to go on, you want to keep coming, you want to keep helping them.
Vivek, do you think sometimes millennials get a poor rap? A lot of people, oh, they're millennials. Do you think it's unfair? Now that I know that you're a millennial too, do you think it's unfair that sometimes people are being a bit too harsh, that there's always a tipping point for everyone and everyone sort of grows up, in a matter of speaking?
Yeah, I think it's unfair because these are all stereotypes, and we believe in breaking the stereotypes. Millennials want to break the stereotypes. The stereotypes are because they are formed because of maybe one or two opinions that are very popular, and also because of media hype. So millennials can actually break this stereotype, and I think Haja and Lyndon are also very good examples of not being just another millennial. So I think we can definitely empower the millennials to break the kind of stereotypes.
What are some of the top 5 challenges that millennials face?
Well, I think millennials need to have clarity, a long-term vision. You see a lot of them having a degree, but the work that they do is totally unrelated. Alignment, not being working with not being able to take what society wants for you and doing what you really want for yourself. What are your values? Millennials also need to be able to have patience, build patience so that they can succeed in life. And they also need to be able to be resilient, to have hard, difficult conversations. And on top of that, millennials need to hold focus. When you are having mobile phones ringing, applications, notifications all over, how are you going to be able to hold that focus and complete your job and be on task?
So are you saying that sometimes millennials have a problem with staying focused and just sometimes being a bit distracted?
Yeah, I think distraction is very rife with the millennials because we are so surrounded by technology. And I think that's very true.
Do you guys agree with that? I mean, is it hard to stay focused in what you do?
I would say that focus is really hard, especially with like your phones ringing off, Facebook, Instagram, multiple social apps. But you got to just tell yourself that the moment that you step in, you have to really commit yourself into it. Be it no matter how tough the job is, you really have to go in and give your all.
Yeah, definitely. Simplest example, we cannot be on our phones when we are teaching these kids. So when we reach out to them, we need to be 100% focused. We need to give them all the care and all the attention that they need, that they might not be receiving at home. So yes, it can be distracting, but at the same time, I believe that once we are focused, we are able to, put that aside and commit to what we're doing.
I think it's very refreshing to get your perspectives today, all of you.
I've got a son who's
almost a millennial.
Yeah, well, he was born in 1999. Does that classify him as a millennial?
Yep.
Okay, so fantastic. And I can't stop him from talking. I'm really excited because this is their generation. I want to hear them all roar, just like we want you guys to be roaring too. Fantastic. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Well, we've been speaking to Vivek Iyyani, the author of Empowering Millennium and Millennials, Haja Roslan and Lyndon Leong. Thanks so much for coming in today, guys.
Absolutely. Beautiful.